Who, according to you, is the most contradictory neta out there?
All the netas who've jumped ship.
If someone has to sort of take Arvind Kejriwal's position right now, who is
I will answer you.
Let's talk about the current crisis that is going on, which is the water crisis. What do you think of? First of all, do you think the water crisis is the government's fault?
Hello, BO fam. Today, I have someone who has done over 5,000 TV debates and is an expert panelist who you can regularly find in the top news channels of our country. Dr. Syed Asad Abbas started his career as an MC about 17 years ago, but switched to politics in 2018, fighting for an MLA seat during the Karnataka elections as a member of the Aam Aadmi Party. He was one of the youngest MLA candidates at the time to contest elections. This is a very politics-heavy podcast where Abbas shares his opinions on everything going on in India, from electoral bonds to the liquor policy scam. We even dive into the upcoming elections and what his predictions are on Modi government's possible third term. If you like opinions, you're going to love this conversation. But before we move forward, don't forget to like this video and subscribe to our channel. So, let's dive in.
Hello and welcome to another episode of the Barely Opinionated show. This one is special because I have Mr. Abbas. Hello, Abbas.
Hi, Rohit. Thank you for having me.
Of course. So Mr. Abbas in 2018 ran with the Aam Aadmi Party as an MLA candidate. And he was one of the youngest MLAs to run at that point. Abbas, first question, I bet you want to jump into it. क्या इस बार 400 पार होगा?
बिल्कुल भी नहीं होगा.
Okay.
The same reason why I feel the Bharatiya Janata Party is quite rattled today. Why so? You see the opposition? What is happening? Congress accounts, the second largest party after Bharatiya Janata Party, all their accounts are frozen. And how would they run their campaign? How would they run their elections or the rallies? Not just that, Aam Aadmi Party, a very promising party, the party which in the last 10 years, the fastest political startup, I'd say, is able to bring in two states, Delhi and Punjab. And Arvind Kejriwal is one leader who's revolutionized healthcare system, the education system, which is also noted by the former Secretary General of United Nations, Kofi Annan, and also the First Lady of the United States of America back then, Melania Trump. And the world over there watching the system, their leaders are put behind the jail. Manish Sisodia, Satyendra Jain, Sanjay Singh, and now Arvind Kejriwal, which is quite unfortunate. If Modi, the Bharatiya Janata Party, had all the might, they would want to beat Congress Party, Aam Aadmi Party, or the India Alliance on the ground in the Lok Sabha grassroots level elections, not put your leaders behind.
But let me counter you with the fact that it's elections, right? Anything can go, and it's not like they're using. Technically, everything that's happening is legal, and that the scam that we are going to obviously dive into is a legitimate thing to talk about.
How is it legitimate, sir, when Himanta Biswa Sarma, a leader of the Congress Party, jumps into BJP and all the cases, CBI cases, ED cases, we hear nothing about them. They are thrown in the cold freezer.
That's very true.
How is it? How is it even fair or legal when there's nothing on Suvendu Adhikari? There's nothing on Ajit Pawar. Modi ji called NCP as a naturally corrupt party. But the day Ajit Pawar joins a washing machine Bhajpa, all his cases are put in the cold freezer. Nothing on them. Nothing on the leaders of Eknath Shinde faction. Nothing on Nitish Rane, Narayan Rane. There are a list of leaders. Not just that, sir. Janardhan Reddy from my beautiful state of Karnataka. 70,000 crore mining scam. Now is an alliance with the BJP. So, my छोटा सा सवाल is, रोहित साहब, दोहरे मापदंड क्यों? अगर आप opposition को leaders को जेल में डाले हो, तो why not these leaders? How are they roaming free? Why the enforcement directorate is not taking action against them? Why aren't they behind the jail? Why? Because they've joined BJP? You know, पहले washing powder Nirma था, अपनी washing machine Bhajpa.
That's a very good point, and we've already obviously spoken about this on Barely Opinionated.
Yeah.
But what again? The main thing will be this: just whataboutism, right? Like one bad cannot be justified with another person's bad. Yes, obviously those guys that you just spoke about has to be tried, and those cases have to be taken up. But that doesn't justify what is going on right now. Yes.
Okay, now let's address first one. You speak of the liquor gate scam. You know, if there is a liquor gate scam, let's hypothetically agree there is a scam. Okay? The scam is based on one approver, who is Sharat Chandra Reddy of the Aurobindo Pharma. 59.5 crore has been given from Sharat Reddy to Bharatiya Janata Party in electoral bonds. So, respected side, there is a scam, and he's the approver. He's also an alleged criminal who said, yes, I've been a part of it. I've given direction that Arvind Kejriwal is the kingpin. So, when Bharatiya Janata Party take about 59.5 crore from an alleged criminal? In fact, even ED said, we don't know about it. You can go ahead. We are here to do. But where are the moral high grounds? Dohre maapdand kyun? Why the double standards? So you take 59.5 crore from the southern superstar lobby kingpin Sharath Reddy after he becomes an approver. What kind of a case is that? Correct. I think largely the people of India need to know what the Bharatiya Janata Party is doing today, which is absolutely unfair. What I'd say, Rohit, come on a level playing field. I know, do you know that Supreme Court also, back in the UPA days, said these government agencies, CBI, ED, have become caged parrots, which is very sad. The Bharatiya Janata Party back then when the opposition used to say that the UPA government, led by Congress, is using these agencies for their good. Now Bharatiya Janata Party is a party with a difference. You are doing exactly the same thing. What you blame the UPA for. So what is the difference? So today you are in power. You use these agencies against the opposition leaders. If you largely see it's the opposition leaders who are put behind in jail. Like Hemant Soren, the Chief Minister of Jharkhand. Yes, former Chief Minister of Jharkhand. Which is very unfortunate. What is happening? I would certainly say this is a democracy. Democracy is celebrated when all the respective political parties have equal chance. Fight on merit, fight on ground. Allow the people of India to decide who they want to see in power. Not use your agencies and use with partisan, use on the bias.
Agree, completely agree. But I feel like, again, that's a very idealistic scenario to talk about. No, like the issue right now is that although we try to be as neutral as possible, whenever we obviously talk against the government, people call us, "Theek hai, aapne pay kiya, aapko Congress ne pay kiya." When we talk about Congress, then they'll be like, BJP is paid you guys and everything. So that will keep going on and on and on, right? But right now, tell me this, with Arvind Kejriwal in jail on this case, do you think it's helping AAP more than it's affecting?
I would say, Rohit, I'll answer in two parts. Firstly, very opinionated, what I see. The fourth pillar of the Constitution is actually independent media people like you, Rohit. You and your team who are running it, and many others, like Ravish Kumar, The Wire, The Scroll, and so on and so forth. Largely the mainstream news media who I go every day on, I see a bias there. I've called them out. I call the anchors as spokesperson of the Bharatiya Janata Party. I say they are the best BJP spokesperson that BJP does not have. They do even a better job. Now, you might be called whatsoever, but let me tell you, my friend, I've seen very opinionated, and you're asking questions on both sides. You're asking me tougher questions than even Godi media journalists. And that's what you need to do, and you're doing the fair job, the right job, which is very important. Now, the second part, you speak of how is it looking for the people with the Aam Aadmi Party as a sympathy. You should go to Delhi, my friend. You should see the nook and corner of Delhi. Why is the BJP doing this? Over the last 3 consecutive terms, they have not been able to beat the Bharatiya Janata Party on ground in Delhi with the likes of the superpower like Modi ji, or even the best of member of parliament, also the ministers. They have not been able to move the Aam Aadmi Party. Winning and winning strong. The same reason why abhi ye log ye hatkande apna rahe. You need to go to Delhi. The same voter who votes for Modi ji in the Lok Sabha elections is a staunch supporter of Aam Aadmi Party in Vidhan Sabha Assembly. There was a very beautiful article I read which spoke of the bipolarity of states during voting. Many of the states will vote for a regional party, but the same Lok Sabha they vote for a Modi ji or a BJP. We've seen that vote pattern across the length and breadth of India. But I tell you today, this is not just sympathy. But ye dil walon ki Delhi nahi, dimag walon ki bhi Delhi hai. They think they know what is good for them. Free electricity, the mohalla clinics, free water has worked right for the people. These are the real welfare state schemes. BJP might call me rivalry politics, but they're doing the same in many other cities. Okay, and their states that they are ruling. But the fact of the matter is, the leader is aware today. They know the truth. Not just sympathy. I would say largely across the length of breadth of Delhi, there is an undercurrent which is leading towards the Aam Aadmi Party.
So it is helping Aam Aadmi Party.
I will tell you the answer will be given on Sunday, March 31st. There is a Bhavya grand rally you will see of the India Alliance, which will shake the living daylights of the ruling dispensation. 31st. That is on Sunday. You will see what is coming through.
Okay, this podcast will come out after that, so hopefully we would have already seen.
Absolutely, and you can play a few.
Yeah, major going down.
Like I could be the Nostradamus, prophesizing the same.
So you actually spoke about a lot of things.
A lot of things, Mike.
We'll break down one by one. But first, let's talk about the case itself, right?
Yeah.
So what you're saying is absolutely correct. BJP hasn't been able to beat Aam Aadmi Party in Delhi, and Arvind Kejriwal with Aam Aadmi Party have done a brilliant job in the last just 1 decade. They've sort of created such a big name for themselves, which a lot of other people and parties have not been able to. The thing that also comes out that BJP right now is changing most of their MP representatives in Delhi, which is why it's a very risky thing for them to do, which could be another reason for Arvind Kejriwal to be put in jail. Of course, the case is still not proven. I don't want to comment anything. You can say that. You can comment, but I would say that it's still pending. I cannot say that he's not guilty or he is guilty, right? But when it comes to BJP's tactics, as a person who is a politician, and as a person who wants to represent people in their constituency and wants to do better for the country, if you were in their place, wouldn't you take up these tactics? And if you had the means and all the necessary things to do it.
I say, Rohit, the two wrongs don't make a right. You know, there's a saying, power corrupts the man. And absolute power corrupts, absolutely. The fact of the matter is, let me speak to you about the case. You know, right now, the scenario, even when I was debating with the national spokesperson of the BJP on a prime time mainstream channel, I said, Kis baat ke laddu baat rahe hain aap? What jubilation and celebration across the BJP is that Arvind Kejriwal has been sent to ED custody. I challenged it. I challenged this national spokesperson. I said, show me the conviction order of the Delhi High Court or the Supreme Court order where they have said that Arvind Kejriwal, Aam Aadmi Party, is guilty of the crime. It is under trial. So you have nobody to say he's a criminal. There's a difference between a criminal and alleged. That's a very important word. All right? And also, there is absolutely no need for the ruling dispensation to do any celebration of sorts. We have great faith in the Indian judiciary system, which is independent and which, like they say, Satyamev just did.
Do you believe they are independent?
I do believe they are independent. Let me also.
So you're saying you believe that ED is independent?
No, not ED. I spoke of the Indian judiciary.
Okay.
I have great faith in the Chief Justice of India, Justice D.Y. Chandrachud ji and his team. They've been doing a prolific job. Fantastic. You know, that reinstills the faith of the citizens of this country. I think that is a strong pillar.
I think especially in the last 2-3 months, they have taken some really drastic steps.
Absolutely.
Shown that, there.
Absolutely. Yes. But yeah, there are instances where we see a Bengal court judge joining the Bharatiya Janata Party and saying that he cannot comment whether he's with that govt, Gandhi, and so forth. We'll come to that later. Now, coming to CBI IDIT, I truly become the, as observed back then by the Supreme Court, caged parrots indeed. Because they said only for the opposition. I'd like to know, how come when these corrupt netas of the Congress, of the other parties, join BJP, how come they become clean? How is it? How is that the CBI IT, उनके cases पे रोक लगा देती है? It goes silence, numb. There's a comfortably numb position they come in.
Is there really nothing that the opposition can do in such cases? Like, for example, let's take Ajit Pawar, the case itself. That's a very clear speech of Prime Minister Modi calling him a corrupt person and saying that there are allegations and that ED will come to them and then he joins BJP.
Right? I'll tell you.
Yes, please. Is there nothing that can be done about that?
एक बहुत खूबसूरत शायरी है रोहित. आपके जो दर्शक हैं, मैं समझता हूँ कि हिंदी उर्दू सभी भाषा समझते हैं. लश्कर भी तुम्हारी, सरदार भी तुम्हारा, तुम झूठ को सच लिख दो, अखबार भी तुम्हारा. होने मजलूम ज्यादा नहीं बहने वाला, जुल्म का दौर ज्यादा नहीं चलने वाला. इन अंधेरों का जिगर चीर कर नूर आएगा, अगर है फिरौन तो मूसा भी जरूर आएगा. वाह. देखिए जनाब, ऐसा है कि ऑपोजिशन को ना इन लोगों ने धज्जियां उड़ा दी है ऑपोजिशन की. Opposition is supposed to be the watchdog, whereas the fourth pillar of the constitution, media, is supposed to not side the opposition or the government of the ruling dispensation. They are supposed to question those who are in power, be it Congress or the BJP in any state or the center. But what happens? What can the opposition do? File a case? Again, that would run the time, but the time elections will be over. They can't really do anything about it. They can raise their voice and tell Ajit Pawar के बारे में मोदी जी ने ये कहा जो सच है अभी कुछ नहीं होता. Where the opposition is doing their best, but what beyond that? Beyond that can do. This is where our Indian constitution also speaks about the federalism of the states, right? Where every state has its autonomous powers. Of course, centrally leading, central with the equal protection and the guidance of the fundamental rights. Across comes across, yes. But also the state structure to keep the autonomy alive, it is important. It's many layers of it, साहब. कौन से layers को आपके बारे में बताओ? आप सवाल करते रहिए, हम बताते जाएंगे.
चलिए ठीक है. तो पहले बात करते हैं कि you are I've seen your debates, right, as part of this research, and I've come across your companion clips as well. You've gone on Republic, you've gone on Times, now you've debated the so-called Godi media.
The beautiful Godi.
And even though you question them and you call them Godi on their face, they seem to want to call you back again and again. And I believe that it's your strong opposition and your strong voice that you put forth in those debates is what sort of attacks you to them or attacks them to you. Right? Are you not worried, considering the sentiment that's been going around in the country with opposing the government? That is one. Second is, when you are saying these things, don't you feel like the voice that you're raising is way too much or way too strong?
Beautiful question, Rohit. I will answer that. Firstly, it is challenging. It is, especially when you're an independent voice. There are many people, I on my Twitter line, you see, I get hashtag go to Pakistan. I've got a Pakistani agent or so on. I'd say, Prophet Muhammad believes in hubbul watan.
Love for your country, live for your country, your patriotism towards your country. I believe that. Like Allama Iqbal beautifully said, Sare jahan se acha Hindustan hamara. Hum bulbule hain iske. Ye gulsita hamara. I believed in that. And to me, if I need to be right towards my watan, towards my ahle watan, I need to speak out what is wrong happening in this country. It's very important. And yes, many a times on the Godi media front, in fact, I'll tell you, there was a national, again, a mainstream media channel, where I asked the anchor, I said, Muhtarma, aap Times Now ki anchor hain ya Bhajpa ki pravakta hain?
You don't want to name the anchor?
I will name. The video is on record. You can play it as well. It's Navika Kumar. On Times Now.
Chief editor of Times.
Yeah, she's the group editor.
Editor.
Yeah. So I asked Navika ji, आप टाइम्स नाउ के एंकर हैं या भाजपा की प्रवक्ता हैं? तो नाविका जी ने कहा मैं नहीं बताऊंगी, मैं कुछ नहीं कहूंगी. I'd love you to play that video for sure.
नाविका जी, आप अपने दिल पर हाथ रख के कहिए, आप टाइम्स नाउ की एंकर हैं या भाजपा की प्रवक्ता हैं? बताइए, दिल पर हाथ रख के बताइए.
सैयद भाई,
यही बची थी.
सैयद भाई, this is not
यही.
Not just that. So myself and Mr. Arnab Goswami, the leader of the wolf pack of Godi media, so there was a challenge. I said, Arnab, the Karnataka Assembly elections, the 23 elections, are going to be won by Congress party. And he didn't concur with my opinion. I said, it's a challenge. And when the day happens, I'll be in your studio and I'll feed you the Karnataka special Mysuru Pak. I said, okay. Lo and behold, Congress party won. Thumping victory. And I was in a studio with the Mysore Pak and I fed him.
And that video is also there.
Please. Play it for the audience. They'll love it.
Of course.
Karnataka special sweet Mysore Pak from Arnab Goswami.
Yes.
Right. Okay. It's a festival of democracy and we wish you all the best.
I hope you had a good time with us in the studio.
Thank you. So I would say I'm a student of journalism, Rohit. I've done my bachelor's in journalism from Jain University, master's in media and mass communication from Christ University. My able faculty members, my teacher said, Abbas, you need to be a voice which is not compromised. You need to be the fourth pillar of the constitution. You cannot have a bias as a journalist or a media person. You cannot be partisan towards one side. So what I've learned, Rohit, in my life, in my studies, in my respective institutions, I will follow that no matter what. I will call out those Godi media members in their face, whether they invite me to the channel or not. You know, I cannot be of fear of that, oh, they will not invite me. No. If you're good enough, if you're a voice, if you become one of the best voice in the country, independent voice, fearless voice, strong voice, you will have a demand. अगर एक गोदी मीडिया का दरवाजा खुलेगा तो 10 मीडिया है. There are 400 channels. Do you know that? Al Jazeera recently led by Srinivasan Jain spoke of 400 channel. एक नहीं तो 399 बुलाएंगे. कोई नहीं बुलाए तो barely opinionated बुलाएंगे.
Done sir, done.
Yes.
चलो ठीक है तो
In fact, I'd love you, Rohit, if you could bring on the might and the likes of the spokesperson of all the parties. Would love to take them on. Facts.
This is step one. I want to go on and on and on, and hopefully we get there. But
you
moving,
can bring on their ministers, MPs. Bangalore South को MP को भी बुला लो. जबरदस्त डिबेट करेंगे on facts, figures, statistics.
You're talking about Tejasvi Surya.
Of course, I'm talking about Tejasvi Surya. Yes.
I just want to make it clear so that the audience also is aware.
अरे Bangalore South MP सबको पता है.
चलिए तो when I'll come to Karnataka later, but आपको ऑफर आया है ज्वाइन करने के दूसरे पार्टीज?
काफी ऑफर आए हैं. मुझे एक रीजनल पार्टी का ऑफर आया है. आया था नेशनल स्पोक्सपर्सन का. मुझे स्टेट स्पोक्सपर्सन के भी काफी ऑफर आते हैं.
You're a very good spokesperson. Why didn't you just take up that role?
Thank you, my friend. I have been offered this role, but honestly, it doesn't excite me.
Oh, really?
You know, if there is, I'll tell you. I'll be honest with you. What I could do as an independent voice, you know, on television, where I'm able to question whichever party does wrong. If it's Trinamool Congress with the Sandesh Khali, what they did, I call them out. Even the Congress party is not going right. I call them out. Be it the AAP, Congress, any party. You have an independent when you're a voice by yourself. When you're an autonomous voice, you can go to any media. Many a times, you see spokesperson of Congress do not go to many of the so-called Godi media.
Correct.
Or one-sided media. So I do not want to lose this autonomy, but there has been many requests from a political party who are very strong. They've told me that not just a spokesperson role, but we would want you to play organizational roles and much larger roles. So if I get something which I think I will make a larger difference, then I will certainly accept it. But for now, I'm independently enjoying my role as a free voice.
So,
like Rohit Agarwal.
So, I mean, whether you want to answer this or not, I leave it up to you, but would you join BJP?
You won't believe this, my friend. You won't believe this. Many of the people I know in BJP, they've told me, you could be a great, you know, Muslim voice from the BJP.
Correct.
Think about it. You know, there is a void in the minority front in the Bharatiya Janata Party. You could be a fantastic voice because you're articulate, you speak on facts and figures, and Modi ji is doing a great reach out with the Pasmanda Muslims, with the Bohra Muslims, and so on and so forth. Many a times I've been questioned. In fact, many of my friends who were in Congress have joined the BJP, spokespersons as well. There's been this question, largely, this is the world of politics. Friends turn foe, foes turn friends. This is an unpredictable world. Largely, I would say, if the party concurs with what I think, what my ideology is, I will run with that.
Perfect.
And समय का कुछ नहीं है. Time heals all wounds and time sets many tangents accordingly. We'll cross the bridge when we come to it.
आप बहुत अच्छे spokesperson हो. You dealt with that question so well. Like it's such a diplomatic answer.
आपको रोहित साहब आपको पता होता मैं अच्छा या बुरा spokesperson हूँ जब आप एक और मान्यवर या मोहतरमा को मेरे आगे बिठाते और जो धुलाई करते हम उनकी.
Soon.
आपको बता दें कि you know Godi media, my friend, is like I'll tell you. It's easy to debate on, I'd say, on NDTV largely. Abhi to Adani bhai sahab ne take over kar liya because they give you a fair time.
Correct.
But on many other Godi media channels, our BJP friends are given more time. We're given very less time. उनकी आवाज फेडर पे हाई होती है, हमारी फेडर पे लो हो जाती है. उसमें भी I tell this sometimes मैं बोल देता हूँ ये गोदी मीडिया एंकर को, काश मैं आज भाजपा का मेंबर होता, आप मुझे थोड़ा सा और समय दे देते. I tell them and they laugh and they agree with me, but they can't say it. But I tell you, but one thing I'll tell you, this is like India in a cricket team fighting a mighty team like Australia. which is a tough team. It's very good to me, Rohit, because you need to be in your A game. Your facts, figures, statistics, the world is watching. You can't come across like a pappu. You need to be on your A game always. You know, many a times I'm asked question when I go to many of these colleges, educational institutions, media houses, that आपको डर नहीं लगता क्या? लहरों से डरकर नौका पार नहीं होती, हिम्मत वालों की कभी हार नहीं होती. हिम्मत मर्दा मदद खुदा. Fortune always favors the brave. अगर आप डर जाओगे ना, तो आप बस घर पे रहो. अगर आपको लाइफ में कुछ करना है, आगे बढ़ना है, तो डर बिल्कुल भी नहीं. निडर होके आगे बढ़ना है. Even I'd say Modi ji, you know, if he remained to be a chai wala, imagine the beautiful country like India, where a democracy, where a chai wala can become the prime minister. I might be a critic of Modi, but Shashi Tharoor said something very nice. If there is something good the government is doing, we need to appreciate that.
Correct.
Only then you'll be seen as a prolific, honest, fair, true voice.
Exactly.
You can be a critic of what they're doing wrong. But when there is good work, when it comes to matters of our beautiful country, India, you need to be sacrosanct with everything.
Exactly.
And especially the internal matters. So therefore, I would say that if you want to make a difference in life, you need to be individualistic. You need to be an independent voice. You need to, har samay, har waqt pe, you need to favor the right.
Correct.
You know, even Bharatiya Janata Party, many of the members, they don't say it on record, on television. Debate के बाद वही बोलते हैं मुझे, अब्बास साहब आपने सही बात कही. So it's important to be that voice.
Correct. Very true. अब एक बात बताइए, you whenever I hear you talk, even on TV, shairis just come out of it. What is it? Why? How? What is it that brought shairis inside you, and how are you so good at talking? Maybe give some tips to people that are watching as well.
Oh, definitely, Rohit. You yourself, you're a fantastic speaker yourself.
Please, I'm still learning from you.
I'm sure you'll get there. I remember judging an event where you were in college. So I have you do strike a bell, ring a bell, in fact,
nice.
and you are good. You are articulate. I'm sure you'll get there. I would say. So it started off at school. I'm from Cathedral High School, Bangalore. So why the principal made me a school captain or head boy is because I used to love to be on stage.
Oh.
You know, debates. You know, people watch me on debates now. So my school buddies, they message me, bro, you've been doing it this school days. So never let the others speak.
Oh, wow.
So school se hi, I was on the Bonvita
So at least
quiz.
a good 20-25 years of experience in being on stage and talking.
Absolutely. So it's been since school days. I was into quizzing, debating. Not just me, Tevijasvi Surya also.
Right.
So he was on Kumarins.
Okay.
So we've been debating since then.
Wow.
So Raghav Chadda, he's also been a school time debater. Arun Jaitley Sahab.
Correct.
Again,
A lot
very
of
good
them
leader.
actually have been from a young age. Politicians, the people that are leading in our politicians now have been those that have been part of this culture since their young age, right?
Yes. And you know, when you debate, when you have about, back in the school days, even now we used to have 3+1 minute. Abhi to Godi media pe 30 second mil jaye, bahut hai. So now this, when you're facing a difficult opposition, your time is less. So always, it's like riding a tiger, my friend. One mistake and you drop, the tiger will eat you. So you need to give your best always. And the people are watching you. You know, the anchors also, the producers are in the earpiece. One small mistake and ye media wale aapko dho denge.
Correct.
On fact checks.
Correct.
So your facts need to be right. The judgments you quote need to be right. And shairi. I've always had this flair for shairi. I'm a huge fan of Mirza Ghalib.
Acha.
I've been a huge fan of Rahat Indori. You know, Josh Malhabadi, who beautifully says to the youth, मंजिलें उन्हीं को मिलती हैं जिनके सपनों में जान होती है, पंखों से कुछ नहीं होता, हौसलों से उड़ान होती है. You know, shairis, I would say, even as a motivational speaker, when I go to various corporate houses, educational institutions, I've loved debating, I've loved shairis. Shairis really touch your heart, and in a few words, they answer you what one full book would do.
Interesting. And you have a very unique style as well. The unique style about your chashma on your forehead.
Always.
What is that about? Tell me that. I've not seen a lot of people do that.
A lot of times I'm asked. It's just that, you know, एक style बन गया है हमारा.
अच्छा.
जैसे Rajkumar, you know, Rajkumar, the actor, used to say, जानी हमें रोक सके इस जमाने में दम नहीं, जमाना हमसे है, हम जमाने से नहीं. He used to always have a scarf around. हमारा चश्मा हमेशा बरकरार है. हमारा ऐसे एक style statement हो चुका है. और मैं कहूँगा कि आज की दुनिया में today the youth needs to know one thing. You may want to be a content creator, doctor, lawyer, engineer, medicine, anything. Always remember, जो डर गया वो मर गया. अगर आप डरोगे ना, you'll just be a mediocre in your respective field.
Correct.
अगर आपको उभर के बाहर आना है, अगर आपको उभर के कुछ एक हस्ती बननी है, like if barely opinionated or Rohit Agarwal needs to be, with millions of subscribers and followers and a voice to look out for in mainstream media, you cannot afford to be timid. You need to make tough choices. You need to be bold, courageous.
Correct.
जो डर गया वो मर गया मेरे भाई.
Very true. Okay. चलिए, let's come back to our political discussion.
Yes, please.
आपने पप्पू की बात की थी, थोड़ा उस पे चलते हैं. When we look at AAP's journey, right? AAP became famous and Arvind Kejriwal
पप्पू नहीं है.
We know who we are talking about. But
I'll tell you, Pappu, in which context I said. When you're asked the questions and you don't know on television, you become a Pappu, meaning you don't know the answer.
Okay.
Haan, Bhajpa ne, according to Bhajpa, that one particular Congress party leader is a Pappu, not according to me.
no, you know what? Actually,
Pappu, according to them, means Dumbo.
There was a very senior journalist that I was talking to.
Name the journalist.
He was there in my previous podcast as well. So he was telling me that the whole name of Pappu nahi wo to dekh lenge log. But the whole name of Pappu, right, was not from the BJP, but it actually came internally from the Congress, allegedly. I wouldn't say that it's true, but that is what I've heard, that it
नाम कहाँ से भी आए? शाइन ने तो भाजपा वालों ने किया था.
Correct.
Pappu, according to generally all of us,
is like a
Dumbo.
Yeah.
Like that.
Correct.
I honestly don't think Rahul Gandhi is a Dumbo.
Yeah,
I
for
absolutely don't think
for
so.
Sure.
I think he's a man who's currently raising the right questions. He, with what I see with Bharat Jodo Yatra and Bharat Jodo Nyaya Yatra, it may not be helping Congress party electorally, but largely it is making a significant difference in asking the people.
Correct.
Like connecting with truck drivers, connecting with Swiggy, Dunzo, delivery boys, connecting with coolies. Correct. Connecting with
the real Bharat in the roots.
Bharat grassroots level. I think that is doing well for Rahul Gandhi, for his personal brand, and largely connecting people.
Yeah, I mean, if it weren't for him, who else would do it?
Yeah, and largely, I love that line, Nafrat ki bazaar mein mohabbat ki dukaan kholne aaya hoon. As may, it might be a little theatric, dramatic, or rhetoric, but it's a beautiful thing.
Correct.
I do not like, not just political parties, anybody who sees through the prism of hate, prism of Hindu-Muslim. No. I love, my best buddies are Hindus. I don't see them with the prism. I'm a Muslim. They don't see me. They're not my friend because I'm a Muslim. Since childhood, I played cricket with them, gilli danda with them. You know, Goli? Goli khela hai unke saath. Sabhi kaam kiye hai. That is where largely I have my differences with the Bharatiya Janata Party, when the party and the leaders do this Hindu-Muslim, which is not okay.
We'll get to that later.
Yeah, absolutely.
But to come to the previous question, which is that around AAP's growth and Arvind Kejriwal's growth, right?
Yeah.
Their major presence happened when he did this protest.
India against corruption.
Correct, with Anna Hazare, and that was against the UPA government, which obviously was led by Congress. But now that BJP is in power and AAP has to sort of collaborate with the Congress, what has the stance changed, or have the two parties sort of just kept the differences aside and come together? What is it?
I'll tell you, in politics, pragmatism is very important. The same Bharatiya Janata Party which called Mehbooba Mufti and PDP, People's Democratic Party, as anti-national, joined them and formed an alliance and formed the government in Karnataka. The same DMK, which the Bharatiya Janata Party said is anti-Sanathan. This has been the stand in the days of Periyar, their ideological guru, M.K. Karunanidhi. Okay? So were they in alliance in the 99 Lok Sabha elections with DMK, though they knew the anti-Sanathan stand. Okay? Now they might go against Udaynidhi and so on and so forth. But they're the same people who formed an alliance with DMK, which is known to have an anti-caste stand.
Correct.
Okay? So this is politics. Okay? In politics, pragmatism is very important. What you saw with Ajit Pawar, couple of years or months back, he was with Devendra Fadnavis. Again, he jumped back ship with his uncle Sharad Pawar. Again he
come back. Yeah.
Politics is all about pragmatism. You will never see two political parties. Let me share your secret. Many a times you see political parties going at each other, but largely many of them are very good friends off record, off the camera.
Correct.
they probably have business interests also.
Correct.
Also, there's a minimum program plan which comes in, where, for example, the India Alliance, in some states and they have shared, seat sharing has happened. Some they have not. Like in Delhi, Aam Aadmi Party has given 3 seats to Congress Party. But in Punjab, they have not. Because they know they are strong. Politics largely is what works. India Alliance का basic मतलब है कि इंडिया को हराना, भाजपा को हराना. Simple language में आपको समझा दूं तो it's like this. बड़ा दुश्मन, छोटा दुश्मन. और बड़े दुश्मन को हराने के लिए छोटे दुश्मनों को भूल जाओ, दोस्ती कर लो. And then cross the bridge when you come to it.
An enemy's enemy is a friend.
Absolutely. अभी तो भाजपा ने सभी के लीडर्स को गिरफ्त में ले लिया है. CBI, ED, IT के नाम.
Everyone's on the same boat. I understand that, but
you understand.
I understand.
This is the most, I would say, non-political answer that I'm giving you. You won't find this answer from our political friends. They can't give you, but it's okay. They have their reasons.
I understand that, but my question is that if this is happening between AAP and Congress, where AAP is ready to sort of forgive Congress for the corruption that they were once protesting.
No, I wouldn't say that.
Okay, keep it aside.
Keep it aside.
Keep
yes.
it aside for now.
Forgiveness, politics में ना रोहित साहब, forgiveness नहीं होता. अगर आपने राजनीति देखा है, नाना पाटेकर has said this very beautifully in the movie कि सियासत, राजनीति वो जगह है जहाँ आप गड़े मुर्दे भी जब आपको इस्तेमाल करना है आप उठाते हो, इस्तेमाल करते हो, फिर गाड़ देते हो.
Beautiful.
और एक बात बता दूं आपको, पॉलिटिक्स में ना गुस्सा नहीं होना है, गुस्से को पालने की जरूरत है. आई थिंक दिस इज गोइंग टू बी अ मिर्जापुर डायलॉग. गुस्से को पालना का सीखना बहुत जरूरी है. यू कैन नॉट इन पॉलिटिक्स, इफ यू आर एन इमोशनल पर्सन, आई से पॉलिटिक्स इज नॉट फॉर यू.
Correct.
जो I'll tell you one more thing which many politicians may not speak to you about.
Okay.
Many times हम लोग क्या सोचते हैं रोहित साहब, भाजपा कांग्रेस largely BJP Congress are bitter enemies, arch rivals. No, the real politics happens within the party where they try to cut you out. The politics is not what you see just BJP Congress. No, inside Congress, inside BJP, inside AAP, जो एक दूसरे की टांग खींचते हैं ना, टिकट के लिए, पोजीशन के लिए, पावर के लिए, पोस्ट के लिए, that is much better, or not better, much larger toxic politics you handle. Imagine there is politics everywhere. Cricket में politics, office में politics, घर में politics. Imagine the level of politics in politics. It's next level.
Correct.
I'd say politics, largely the media front, is not for soft heart. It's for those, अगर आपको मीडिया में politics में होना है ना, you need to be thick skinned. I would say skin of a crocodile, rhinoceros and alligator put together. बहुत जरूरी है भाई साहब.
चलिए वो तो समझ गया, बट आई वांट टू कम टू वन पर्टिकुलर क्वेश्चन.
Yes.
अब अगर आपने कांग्रेस के जो एलिगेशन है उसको आप साइड में रख के अगर पार्टनर किया है, नॉट फॉरगिवनेस बट कीप इट असाइड, maybe that is what BJP has also done with the politicians that we spoke about before, whether it's Hemanta Biswa Sharma from Assam or it's Ajit Pawar from Maharashtra.
Fair
Don't you agree?
Fair enough, very fair. But ठीक है, आपने कहा है जैसे कांग्रेस और आप has come together, these guys have come together. Okay, come together, no problem. But the fact is, but when you say CBI, ED, IT are independent agencies, they are independent agencies, they are not remote controlled by BJP. तो दोनों के खिलाफ करो ना. से BJP के तरफ सब दूध के धुले हैं, holier than thou saints. और यहाँ पे आप जमो, कांग्रेस आपके साथ ठीक है वो गलत है, अजित पवार के साथ बीजेपी गलत है, चलो, बट सीबीआई ईडी आईटी को तो इंडिपेंडेंट करो.
करेक्ट.
सिर्फ इनके खिलाफ, अपने खिलाफ नहीं. और कैसे मैं नहीं समझ सकता कैसे भाजपा, बट हियर they have not, Congress party has not taken brush netas of BJP.
True.
Here the Bharatiya Janata Party has taken all the brush netas of Congress party and other parties.
Alleged
with
brushed
them.
netas is what I would say.
Alleged. Alleged डालो. But alleged कैसे, मोदी जी ने खुद कहा है naturally corrupt party.
फिर भी alleged बोलना पड़ेगा.
चलिए alleged को अपनी ले लिया है. कैसे? अच्छा ले लिया है. तो why there are no advances of the enforcement directorate against
Very
them?
true. Very true.
केस तो चालू रखो, cold freezer पे मत डालो.
But what makes you? Why is it that they are not being able to stay independent. Say like Supreme Court, abhi,
I'll tell
at
you.
least 2019 mein there were still allegations about Supreme Court not being very independent, because I think I forgot his name. There was one chief justice. There was one
Who became a Rajya Sabha
who
member?
became a Rajya Sabha member.
Yeah.
Correct.
Yes.
So that time there were allegations that Supreme Court may not have been independent because he had also handled a lot of the cases of the BJP.
I'll tell you something very important, Rohit Saab, since you're a young, dynamic individual in the media. It's good that you're very careful on many fronts. As a citizen of this country, the Constitution gives you the right to dissent with the verdict. Okay, you can dissent with the verdict, but you cannot come into a contempt of court.
Okay.
Contempt of court will be where you say, ye judge galat hai, ye judge ye kar raha hai, wo kar raha hai, wo kar raha hai. Yes, but the context you put in is allegations of the opposition parties. Correct. You are right. So that is a clear demarcation we need to have. We can dissent with the verdict. That ye to hamara संविधान हमें पूरी इजाजत देता है. Okay. Now coming to the other front of the question that you've asked. See, largely if you look at the judiciary undoubtedly, I would say, is independent. Many a times, Rahul Gandhi in the matter, was suspended. Now he's brought back thanks to our judiciary system. So I think many fronts, many leaders have been wrong to say that judiciary is compromised. I, as an individual, no. I absolutely do not think so at all. So yes, that is something we can always discuss and ponder over.
Correct. But what I'm trying to ask you is, how is it that the Supreme Court now is able to sort of stay outside the influence of the government, but why is the ED and income tax not able, or allegedly not able to stay outside the influence of the government?
That's a very good question. Okay. That also largely depends on the individual. I've always believed that I might always concur with the Supreme Court observation, where it's called the CBI-ED-IT, or Kit's Parrot of the ruling dispensation. This is the Supreme Court's observation.
That was back in 2014 or 2013?
UPA, in the times of UPA, where I would also say it remains so. The same Bharatiya Janata Party which felt proud about the fact they are a party with a difference, which they are doing it now. But I also believe it's in the individual. I would say the Chief Justice of India, Justice D.Y. Chandrachud, has been very rational. He's been right on many fronts, and every decision that he's making is within the constitution of law, the law and order system, the Indian Penal Code. So I definitely say it depends on the individual, and also the superannuation process of the judges is independent. You don't see the Prime Minister of the country or the opposition choosing here. All right? But in CBI-ED-IT are chosen by the ruling dispensation. Yes, please ask that question. Pucho. Abhi. Johar, you can go ahead.
No, so even with the election commission, right? Election commission में भी अभी वही चल रहा है कि the two election commissioners that have been chosen now obviously have been chosen in a panel where there were two members of the government, which is Prime Minister and a Union Minister, and then one leader of opposition, which ideally one should have been the Chief Justice of India and one person from the government and one person from the opposition.
Yes,
right?
You've said it, and it's happening. Not just that, Chandigarh ka hi dekh lo. Chandigarh chotu sa election kya hua? Supreme Court had to intervene. He's rigging the election. It was won by the Aam Aadmi Party mayoral candidate. But what ये सज्जन को क्या तकलीफ है भाई? जैसे मोदी जी ने कहा इस सज्जन को क्या तकलीफ है भाई उनके एक रैली में.
करेक्ट.
और वो सफेद कपड़ा है. सफेद कपड़ा. सो ऐसे एक मनुष्य जाग गया और खुलेआम सीसीटीवी के नेतृत्व में उन्होंने रिग कर दिया. एंड सुप्रीम कोर्ट took the initiative.
Correct.
They set him right.
Correct.
The Bharatiya Janata Party, it's all out in the domain. So now, starting 19th April onwards, I believe the great might of the Indian public people's mandate will come out, see all of this which has been taking place and vote right. I will not tell you which political party to vote. Please vote. Keep all things under observation. You're a very smart voter. And now there is a significant increase in young voters.
Correct.
From the age of 18 to 35. Very young.
But tell me this, don't you think the campaigns that BJP runs and as like as a non-politician, as an outsider, as a normal citizen.
I'll answer you as a politician also.
As a politician,
I'll give you a fair answer.
But what I want to know is, don't you think they're very smart? Like, they're very smart in the way they run things. Their campaigns are very smart. Their initiatives are very smart.
You love my answer, and it won't be political correct. I've been vociferous always on all the national television front, be it NDTV, India Today, CNN, Times Now, Republic, Mirror Now, all the mainstream media channels, that one thing the opposition needs to learn from the BJP is there are 24/7 election running machinery. To win elections, you need to have that hunger. वो प्यास होनी चाहिए, वो भूख होनी चाहिए. You need to have the appetite to take risk, which the Bharatiya Janata Party is doing. Today they've become a juggernaut. Why? They work from the booth level. They are doing Sam, Dam, Dand, Bhed. They're doing everything in their might to win elections. They're doing it. And they're proudly doing it, which the opposition party needs to do. I know they are being hounded. I know there is horse trading. I know netas are jumping ship. I know there are many challenges against you. But you need to show that hunger, the thirst, the might, the appetite for risk, and get on to be an election running machinery, without which you're not in politics. If you are in politics, you're out there to win, not just showbazi, not just jumlebazi. Get on the ground, grassroots level, work on every booth.
Who do you think is, who according to you is the most contradictory neta out there?
So many.
Any one name you want to talk about?
Kiska naam lo? For example, Himanta Biswa Sarma. You know, he was ardent critic of the BJP, of Modi.
Correct.
He's now jumped the ship. Now he's doing JJ Modi. All the netas who've jumped ship. Suvendu Adhikari used to say, Mamta Di, meri badi behan hai, didi hai. And now he's on the other side. Narayan Rane, Nitesh Rane, now on the other side. Janardhan Reddy was going ballistic against BJP here in Karnataka. Now we see him, you know, his independent party joining alliance with Modi ji, Amit Shah ji, him. Almost, I'd say every leader who's jumped the ship has been contradictory. Many of them. The same, for example, I'll mention about one of the spokesperson, Shahzad Poonawala. I was on a debate with him where I told him, my friend, you wrote an article in The Wire where you showed the comparison. You showed the similarities between Modi ji and Hitler. There is a legit.
He's written that article?
He's written. Please Google.
What are you saying?
I request your team to
and tell me which year this is from also.
When he was in the Congress.
When he was in the Congress, right? Just tell me which year as well.
So there is an article where he wrote, similarities of Modi ji with Hitler. And I called him out. I was on this channel. I was on this Hindi debate. Either it was Aaj Tak or India News.
Okay.
Where I said, "Arey, ye to wahi Shahzad Poonawala hai, जिन्होंने article लिखा था कि Modi ji, how Modi ji is like Hitler."
Correct.
And now today he's doing JJ Modi.
And that article is still going like ballistics. Like I've at least
time
received like
and time his tweets.
Yeah, correct.
Now he might have deleted it, but once it's out in the internet, it's always there.
Correct.
So people have tweeted the screenshots. In fact, Zubair has done it. Zubair of Alt News.
Alt News, yes.
All fact checker. Zubair. He's done it.
Correct.
Where he's shown. And today, कैसे धर्म परिवर्तन, सियासी परिवर्तन, राजनीतिक परिवर्तन और हृदय परिवर्तन पहले बोलते थे ना मोदी जी ना अभी वाह मोदी जी वाह कैसे कोई टॉनिक ली हुई है क्या जैसे रूबिका लियाकत जी ने कहा था कहाँ से आती है आपकी शक्ति रोहित जी आप कैसे आम खाते हैं छील के निगल के
Amrinder, did you find it? Okay, you tell me when you
yes you can also take that on and put it on
the video as well.
On the video as well.
Yeah,
that article. Put
for
it
sure.
On. So contradict. बहुत सारे नेता. Those who jump ship from opposition parties to BJP party, they all have this.
Okay. Coming back to our state, which is Karnataka.
In fact, if I can please add on, it's very important.
Yeah.
Smriti Irani ji, Minister, Cabinet Minister, Union Minister, she's always been a vociferous voice of Beti Padhao, Beti Bachao, women empowerment.
You're talking about Smriti Irani.
Smriti Irani. During Nirbhaya and so on and so forth. Where was she? Why the numb silence? Why the deafening silence when Bilkis Banu's, her convicted killers of her family, her convicted rapist, convicted, not alleged.
Correct.
They were released by the prison. And
Not
that
just
happened.
released with
Ministry of Home Affairs, they were garlanded, of course. The directive, the permission, the approval came in from the Ministry of Home Affairs. Not a single word. Look at how selective they can get. There's so much of selectivity there, which is absolutely not okay. Many of the leaders, like even Nirmala Sitharaman, did not say a word.
Correct.
Sakshi Malik, ye desh ki beti, Modi ji bhi chup rahe. She had to come out on the roads against this Brij Bhushan Singh.
Correct.
She had to put her wrestling footwear right on the table in the press
No,
conference.
now though all of them have been
Now they have. But justice delayed is justice denied, my friend.
What I'm saying is all of these people have been called anti-national. They have been discarded from...
Yes.
It's sad.
So look at the contradictions.
Correct.
Same Smriti Irani during Nirbhaya was out on the streets protesting. Where was she for Bilkis Banu? Where was she for Shakshi Malik? No? Deafening silence. Dohre maapdand, double standards. This is the hypocrisy and duplicity which I'm not okay with. I will call them out.
Okay, cool. Coming back to our state, which is Karnataka. Again, let's talk about the current crisis that is going on, which is the water crisis. What do you think of... First of all, do you think the water crisis is the government's fault?
I would say definitely. It is not just this government. Congress party is to be blamed. JDS is to be blamed. Bharatiya Janata Party is to be blamed. JDS, why you may ask? Kumarana was the chief minister. Yediyurappa was the chief minister. Now Siddaramaiah has been the chief minister twice. All of them collectively need to answer. It's not happened in the last 1 year or last 5 years. It's been happening from several years, over a decade now. All those ministers, all those chief ministers, everybody who has allowed the encroachment of lakes needs to be blamed. There's been no planning, if you see, largely. It's been very unplanned. The infrastructure of my beautiful
So this
city.
encroachment of lakes is a big issue, right?
It is an issue.
And so-called real estate mafia is what is allegedly responsible for. Is there a real estate mafia based on what you see, and which was the government that sort of approved this?
All of them have done that.
Oh, really?
Be it Kumarana, it's been happening from several years now.
Wasn't it like the 2011, 12, 13 period is when all of this happened, if I'm not wrong?
I would say the real estate players, largely the real estate players have been existing from over a decade now. And in the last decade, you've seen all three chief ministers.
Correct.
Yediyurappa, Bommai, Kumarana and Siddaramaiah. All of them are to be blamed, by the way. So this allotment happens in different phases and they've all been party to it. So therefore, I was on NewsX, another mainstream news media channel, where I was speaking about this. They are to be blamed. And also, there needs to be the citizens of this country, the state, us Bangaloreans need to come together with the ruling government, with the Resident Welfare Association, with the cooperative societies, with the social activists, and come out and work out a frame. Because water is the most needed, essential in a human life. Pani nahi to kuch bhi nahi, mere bhai. And I blame all the political parties equally.
So again, in my previous podcast, I had Mr. Vijay Grover. I don't know if you know him.
I know him, yes.
Yeah.
Vijay हमारे बहुत खास भाई हैं. बड़े भाई हैं.
So I asked him the same question, and his point was that, see, government is to be blamed to a certain extent, but it's also the citizens that need to really take responsibility, especially because of the whole issue of rainwater harvesting that was not taken up, especially by these independent houses.
I disagree with him.
You disagree? Why do you say that?
He's a dear friend, he's a big brother, but I disagree. Why, I tell you. If the government in power, whosoever it was, BJP, JDS or Congress, if they wouldn't have given permission for these real estate players, the real estate lobby, we wouldn't have had that. Citizen, you cannot, of course, citizen can do till a certain extent, but the citizens have voted the people in power. They have a larger responsibility towards it. Yes, in the rainwater harvesting, yes, the citizens could have played a role. But government, आप सत्ता में काम करने के लिए आते हो. किसके लिए? लोगों के लिए. So citizens can be blamed, but they cannot be blamed equally. The larger responsibility lies with the politicians, not with the citizen. The citizen can play a 20-30% role. That's it.
Fair.
The large percentage lies with the government in power and the political parties.
Fair. Very fair. When you look at your BJP, I'm sure you have friends in the BJP as well, right?
Yes, yes.
Okay.
You know, I don't believe that सिर्फ कांग्रेस में अच्छे लोग हैं या आप में अच्छे लोग हैं, बीजेपी में अच्छे लोग नहीं है. नहीं, बीजेपी में भी अच्छे लोग हैं.
नहीं, मेरा मानना ये है कि सब में अच्छे लोग सब हैं और बुरे लोग भी सब हैं.
नहीं, पॉलिटिक्स एक अलग ही जंगल है मेरे भाई.
Okay.
पॉलिटिक्स एक अलग ही दुनिया है.
Okay.
जहाँ हर रकम के जंतु, प्राणी, प्रेत मिलेंगे आपको.
Okay.
आप आइए कभी सियासी दुनिया में.
धीरे. But anyway, when you talk to your BJP friends and whoever you are in touch with, one of the biggest things I feel about them is that they are so like the polarization that happens between Hindu and Muslim is very strong from there. And what happens is a lot of the politicians and the leaders also give very, very strong statements against Islam as religion and the people that follow it as well. But I also see a lot of Muslim citizens supporting them or following them. Isn't that also sort of going against their ethics or morals? That is something that I've always been confused about. How is a party that is speaking against a religious belief, right? How are people following that same religious belief supporting the party?
But I'll tell you, largely if you look at Karnataka elections, 81% of the minority votes went to Congress party.
Correct.
Largely. That's a big voting block. You will not see this in Vokaliga, Lingayat, Kuruba or any other party, any other faction.
Correct.
Which you saw with the Muslims. A minute percentage going to BJP. Even BJP knows. Many of the BJP leaders on record have said that Muslim votes don't really matter because the sentiment doesn't vote with them. Okay. Now the second question, the BJP. I'll tell you where I'm quite baffled is when I've had a conversation with a friend of mine who's in the BJP, he's not a communal person. He's somebody who looks at, I'll tell you, I have a friend. I won't take his name to spoil his prospects in the Bharatiya Janata Party or what he's intending to do.
Maybe you
in the
can
future.
say it, we'll bleep it out. Just for context for me. So that I can take the conversation forward. But we'll bleep it for sure.
You will go further than Arnav Goswami. Watch out, the name is Rohit Agarwal. Okay? I'll tell you. Many of fronts. I'm somebody who will say it like it is. But I'm also somebody who will care for, I think, even in BJP, there needs to be good leaders who speak of development, who mean development. They need to come forward.
Correct.
Because why I am not okay with the ideology of the BJP is when they do this Hindu-Muslim politics. Largely, if you ask me, who is one politician who I really admire posthumously, undoubtedly Atal Bihari Vajpayee, who beautifully said, "Matbhed hona chahiye, manbhed nahi." That's a beautiful line, which I always applied on Bhajpa.
Correct.
I tell them, these spokesperson, आपने नहीं सुनी उनकी बात. मतभेद होना चाहिए, मनभेद नहीं. That's very important. You could have differences, ideological differences, but that does not mean it comes from your man, from your heart. It's not needed. So this leader, I have seen him funding a small little Muslim girl who came to his constituency. That's a very beautiful thing. He also funded a little Hindu boy for their schools, respectively. So there are good leaders in the BJP. But certain times I see some leaders, with the saffronization, bhagwadari banke, थोड़ा सा कर लेते हैं हिंदू मुस्लिम, which I'm not okay with. वो नहीं करना चाहिए. But I understand certain, I'll tell you in politics, this is turning out to be a masterclass, by the way, Rohit Saab. आप देखोगे. Many a times when these young grooming leaders, they don't want to do something, they have mentors in every political party. You just cannot go and be ambitious and look at further inroads. No.
Correct.
You need to have one strong leader who leads the path for you and you work towards that leader. अगर उस leader ने तुमको बोल दिया ना ये करना है तो करना है, it becomes mandatory, compulsory to them. So that's where they tend to err according to me, not according to the leader. Okay. So yeah, you might belong to any party, but ये hate politics हटा दो, Hindu-Muslim हटा दो. In fact, I have told Sambit Patra, Sambit ji, मैं पूरी को आऊँगा. I was on ABP News with Rubika Liakhat. अगर आप ये हिंदू मुस्लिम ना करें ना, if you want, I'll give you a clip also. I will come to where you are. I will come to Puri in the next 24 elections and I will campaign for you, with you, strongly. I told him that. Samit Patra, very, very smart, wily politician and a spokesperson. That is, he said, Abbas ji, आप युवा नेता हैं, आपकी सोच अच्छी, आप आइए, आपका स्वागत है, हम नहीं रोकेंगे आपको, आप आइए, जुड़िए. And again he went back to his narrative. So that's politics, my friend. रोहित जी, मैं आपको न्योता देता हूँ, आइए आप सियासी दुनिया में. जरूरत है, largely I would say we youngsters are to be blamed. You, me, your team, everyone is to be blamed. We youngsters firstly think the voting day is a holiday. अरे कौन इतनी लंबी लाइन में क्यों में खड़ेगा, वोट करेगा. Half of the youth I meet do not have even legit voter ID cards.
There's so many people
And
that I've been talking to that don't have it.
have no right to blame. If you're 18 and above and you don't have a voter ID card, even if you have a voter ID card and you go to Goa, what good are you, man or woman, to say, oh, Modi ji, ये ठीक नहीं कर रहे हैं, और राहुल गांधी ठीक नहीं है, ये हमारे सड़कें ठीक नहीं है, हॉस्पिटल्स में प्रॉब्लम है, politics is dirty. I'm not even asking you to come into politics. You, I will ask, but नहीं, आपको politics dirty लगता है, मत आओ. But at least vote करो. अगर वो भी ठीक नहीं है तो नोटा पे लगाओ. Practice your right which is given to you by this beautiful country.
Correct.
You're a democracy because you have the right to vote. आप vote नहीं करते हो, dirty politics कहते हो. My dear friends, when I was 2018 election candidate, one of the youngest in Karnataka, I said this very strongly. You need to come out and vote. And if everybody thinks politics is dirty, फिर सब हम ये 60 plus 70 plus years के लोगों को छोड़ देंगे हम. If we are the largest 65% of the population of this country, why should 60-70-year-olds decide for us? Why should boomers decide? Why can't millennials, Gen Zs decide? Why can't we enter? If something is dirty, what will you do? If your phone is dirty, you will clean it, right?
Correct.
Simple example. So you need to clean it. You need to enter it to clean it. Which world isn't dirty? Do you think corporate politics isn't dirty? Corporate lobbying isn't dirty? Office politics isn't? There is dirt everywhere. It is upon us to come out there and clean. Rohit Saab, the reason I've got into politics is because when I was an MC, a Master of Ceremonies, I was hosted the Indian Premier League. I've been a part of Royal Challengers Bangalore event. I've done all the Gangnam Style with Chris Gayle on stage. Wow. I've done my rapid fire round with Yuvraj Singh, with Dhoni, with Virat Kohli, all of that. I was also a motivation speaker. It is this which gave me an opportunity on Feed D'Souza's Mirror Now show about 7-8 years back, where I was questioning all Congress, BJP, JDS. Do you know that all of them were absent in the assembly? I said, are you college kids? Are you college kids that you're bunking assembly? We give you to vote to come and work. This is not a college time. College kids bunking assembly is okay, but you are respected, elected individuals, and you need to. There was 80% absenteeism in the Vidhan Sabha Assembly in 2017.
Right.
And rightfully Feed D'Souza, another very strong, good, independent, fierce voice of media, had done a debate where she had called a Congress spokesperson, BJP spokesperson, and a JDS spokesperson. And I was there as a citizen activist or citizen voice from Bangalore, where I questioned them. I told them, you have enough time to do, flex banners, flex hoardings, boards where I had raised my voice against them. You can do all your campaigning election, blow your corrupt money, but you don't do your job, you better do your job. Or I'm going to laugh against you, or I will not vote for you. I'm actually an accidental politician. Do you know that? So this was observed by the media team of the Aam Aadmi Party.
Right.
They approached me. They said, you're good. I thought they're getting in touch with me to host an event.
Right.
I'm an MC anchor or do a motivational talk. I was surprised. Like, really, me? Politics. I laughed. Then I said, this is the work. They told me, this is the work. You can also visit Delhi, meet the leaders, Arvind Kejriwal ji, Manish Sisodia ji, the kind of work we are doing we've revolutionized the education system, mohalla clinics, and so on and so forth. I took my time. But I told them, I do not have money like these netas. I'm not going to spend my hard-earned money on this. I'll do a basic. And they supported me with the volunteers.
Got it.
And on a very small budget, I ran the whole election, my friends.
Wow.
The whole election. It was very minuscule.
This is 2018.
Hardly, yes. Hardly. 2018. And I contested on 27 candidates in the BTM layout assembly. I came fourth.
Wow.
I'd say
That's amazing.
With no political background.
Correct.
Of course, the traditional parties, Congress, BJP, JDS, 1, 2, 3.
Correct.
I came fourth. With no experience whatsoever. But I love the experience. Absolutely. I'll share one anecdote.
Okay.
You know, politics is so glorified, my friend. Oh, power, paisa, satta, naam, shan, fame. That's not real politics, my friend. I went to this slum, LR Nagar, in Koramangala. It comes near the Ejipura opposite side. I was just about to enter this small jhopdi hut to ask for vote. I saw a mother. She has just about ek katori jitna doodh. She's mixing it with water, taking a small spoon and feeding a kid. The milk was hardly 20 ml, my friend. She's added about 50-60 ml. An infant baby, a month or 2 month old baby, she's feeding them. I didn't have the courage to even ask her for the vote. What good a politician am I if this is the condition? Such is the condition. And people today are living with, they do not have 2 meals, no, 1 meal. There are people out there, which is very sad state of affairs. What good is politics if you're not able to reach those ends people have given you? Politics, according to my definition, is public service. A public servant, a true public servant is a good politician. You need to serve those people. All I could do is, I didn't have the courage to ask for vote. Ask my volunteers, go out with them, get a couple of liters of milk, leave it outside her door and just leave. I think that's nothing. I think if that thought, any of these MLAs, MPs, corporators, or any of these leaders of any party, if they merely have the intention, that would be a large difference in fighting off poverty of this country. Poverty is plaguing the country. That is something we need to fight on. Poverty, education, jobs.
I think
if these three are worked upon, trust me, India will be a Vishwaguru. No way.
I think yesterday or day before yesterday, report, the inequality report. Yesterday an inequality report came out where allegedly the difference in wealth is wider than what it was during the British Raj. Now, obviously, we haven't done our research as to how legitimate that report is, but it comes from the UN, right?
Can you just repeat the report?
The wealth gap in India right now between the rich and the poor is great. The rich and poor divide is greater now than it was in the British era.
Okay.
Which was a very interesting. Now, when I hear all of this, right, and when I look, the work that we at Barely Opinionated do, or like you spoke about Faye D'Souza, who does some great work as an independent
I've taken a lot of names.
Correct.
Mind you, many of the people who come, they don't, but I did. And it's good. It's good to give context to what you speak. Yes. Be it politics or media.
So the context here is that when I look at the work we do like a... We are trying to do something better for the country, but then when you talk about the situation of the woman in the jhopadi or the people living in slums and the poor, how they are living in the country, I feel like people like me and people like Faye D'Souza and all of us sitting in our AC rooms sort of talking about all of these things, at some points I just have existential crisis sometimes ki, is this even worth it? Right? Don't you feel as someone who has gone out there to ask for votes? Don't you feel as a person who is privileged, who has an AC room, who has an AC car, who has a privileged life, going out there and asking for these votes? Don't you feel guilty? And don't you? I mean, you as in like you as a person and politicians in general, right? Because most of them come from this kind of a background itself.
I will answer.
Isn't that contradictory to the lifestyle that you guys live, and doesn't that give you some sort of a guilt feeling?
You know, Rohit, why I'm enjoying this podcast is because you're asking not just the right question but bold questions. I love challenging questions, my friend. Unlike many of my other counterparts or colleagues, you know, they would want to get in their cozy, comfortable AC situation. Not me. I'm glad you asked me because I have an answer to it. So when I was out there, I did take a good look of my constituency. Many thousands of youth unemployed. Unemployed. What are they doing? Nothing. Absolutely nothing. So many of the slum areas, if you see, it leads to crime. Petty crimes.
Correct.
Which is not okay. I've always believed in this Chinese proverb. You give a fish, you feed for a day. You teach them how to fish, you feed them for a lifetime.
Correct.
I worked on only 3 fronts in my election manifesto, personally what I made, apart from the party. I said to the people, every sabha that I held, every time that I went on for my rallies, elections, I'll work on only 3 things. Poverty, I will do everything it takes to fight. Education and jobs. And I told them, even if I lose the elections, because I was up against 5 times, 6 times sitting MLA Ramlinga Reddy, who was an incumbent home minister then. Okay? And I'm first time into politics. And in politics, I made a very controversial statement, let me tell you. So elections was over, I was invited for an interview and I made this statement. This wasn't taken too well from any political party. I said, in today's elections, even a Mahatma Gandhi will lose without money. Elections are run on money, won on money. Any neta who says no without money is a liar. Though Gandhi ji ki photo hai na, paise pe, even him today contesting any constituency without money will lose. Such is the state of Indian politics. I've shared it with many election commissioners as well, the returning officer who was there. So now coming to the point, what I have done, even though I lost the elections, my friend, I can proudly say many of my constituents, underprivileged, got in touch with me. They wanted admission in schools. I got them admission in schools. I lost the elections. काशी एक ऐसा नेता होगा जो election हारने के बाद भी who is keeping up his promises. I did that and I take pride in that. I don't take pride in being awarded the Youth Icon Award or coming on national media or any of that. I take pride in this. Even though I lost my election, I kept my promise. नेता लोग आते हैं, आपको हम घर देंगे, नौकरी देंगे, ये देंगे, वो देंगे. जन्नत दिखाते हैं हथेली पे, but देते कुछ नहीं, भूल जाते हैं. But I lost the elections and I helped them get jobs, my friend. I got many of them to intern in good places, get them job in good spaces. I got, many of the fees I paid. I spoke to chairmen of several education institutions of the same constituency. I should take this name, Mr. Suresh Nagpal of Krupanidhi Group of Institutions. So many students that I admitted on my recommendation, on my letters, by meeting him, speaking to him, requesting him, he gave them admission. Not just that, my friend, underprivileged students, this man, Suresh Nagpal, chairman of Krupanidhi Group of Institutions, many of them he gave free education, not a single rupee. Many of them fees which is supposed to be 60,000, only 10,000 rupees. And this man, over the last 5 years, he's been doing that on my request, behest and pleading to him. He's able to do that. So though many a times, along with real estate mafia, there are people say, oh, educational mafia. No, there are good people. There are many good people like Mr. Suresh Nagpal who have done this.
No, there are, and like I know Anil Shetty also, who's also now, who was trying for the BTM constituency from the BJP party.
क्या नाम लिया मेरे भाई? मेरा अनिल का वो वीडियो चलाओ. And I have things to, I can share things about him as well.
So what I was getting to was when I was speaking to him about this as well, and when I brought this up as well.
So Anil Shetty जो काम कर रहा है BTM layout में, I have done the same work in BTM layout. When I was contesting, the work which you've seen and appreciating, I've done the same work, or I'd say even more work than Anil Shetty.
I'm sure. But the point is that most of the candidates that stand up for elections or want to stand up for elections get involved in these activities.
I will take on that also. Right? With respect to Anil Shetty, I think he is a young leader who deserves the ticket. Who definitely, I'm from Bharatiya Janata Party, I would say he would have been a good candidate. But look at BJP. Who did they give? Some other candidate. Why? Only because they thought he's cash rich and winnability. Are youth ko chance do. This elections give youth a chance. Modi ji युवा की बात करते हैं तो सिर्फ जुमलेबाजी है क्या? दो chance उसको. So sad. Internal politics and he was ousted out. His name was not on the list. Very sad. He has done good work. Remarkable word.
He's done some remark and he continues to do it.
He does.
He continues to do the campaigns, and he was telling me that how people come to his house, for help, and he always obviously has to continue helping them.
That is one thing which young leaders have, my friend. Many a times, even when during election campaign, many of them used to come to me. I used to never ask, are you Hindu or Muslim? They used to come and I used to do. जो भी मेरे पास आया ना, खाली हाथ नहीं जाएगा. Always remember, a true politician, वो corrupt भी हो सकता है, but a real good politician is somebody when he could be a voter or not. He comes to your doorstep. खाली हाथ नहीं जाना चाहिए. Do something for him. 100 रुपया नहीं, 1 रुपया सही. नाश्ता दोपहर शाम का खाना नहीं, एक समय का खाना सही, या कोई भी मदद कर दो, वो याद रखेगा और आगे जाके आपके लिए वोट करेगा. इनफैक्ट
So my point here is that based on what you're saying, is it that the younger leaders have more empathy than the older ones? Would you say
I would
that?
definitely think so, yes.
Because the older ones have maybe seen a lot more poverty. Is that also the case? The younger ones are a little more privileged, like
I would
us?
say though older leaders, I do not relate with them. Obviously, they are a lot more experience. Of course, they have seen more life. But to me, a lot of young leaders, not all, do have empathy. Yes, but there are pragmatic. But I'll tell you, लोग सभी अच्छे हैं. Politics में जब आप उतरते हो ना, you tend to become
लोगों की नीयत
बदल जाती है, बिगड़ जाती है, and all of that. You know, आपको वो डिबेट चलाना चाहिए जो 30 सेकंड का है. You know, मेरा और अनिल का. We do. Ideologies are different. He's definitely in BJP. His ideology is different. Mine is different. He does appreciate my work. I do appreciate his work. Not just us. There are many leaders who are in Congress, BJP. Like Rajiv Shukla. He's one leader who has friends across party lines. Atal Bihari Vajpayee is known for his gupshup with Sonia Gandhi ji and many other leaders, or Mallikarjun Kharge ji with other leaders. Matbhed hona chahiye, banbhed nahi. In fact, many debates on Republic. Arnab Goswami ki thodi aadat hai, he'll pitch two young leaders, karo debate. So he did that with me and Anil Shetty, where we fiercely opposed each other. You know, he's a dear friend, but we fiercely opposed each other. I told him, in fact, Anil Shetty, you're not Sunil Shetty. Allow me to speak.
We'll probably play that clip.
Yeah, please play that. Yeah, please play that.
Karnataka to come. 13th May I will be with you. Anil can get Dharwad Peda, Surabhi
Abbas,
Idli Dosa.
Who will become the chief minister from BJP? You leave that to us.
Anil Shetty, relax. You're not Sunil Shetty. So please be Anil Shetty. Don't try to emulate and hijack like Sunil Shetty. Allow us to, mere mortals, to speak, please. My friend, let me tell you, you have lost the ground in Karnataka. Your party has lost. I will make you dance in Republic Studio. You have to from Kantara.
And I told him, and I challenged him. He said BJP is going to win. I said BJP will not win. I said I will make you dance to Kantara in Republic Studio. Make you do the Yakshaganas. Congress is going to win and not your party. And that happened. But Anil Shetty is yet to dance. But Arnab Goswami was quite good, quite sporting. Okay. So I told him, Arnab, if Congress wins, I'll feed you Mysore Pak.
And you have
and
the
he
video.
Gladly had it. I have the video. Please play it. Our audience will love it.
Correct.
Yeah.
So now coming towards, I want the last topic that I want to touch upon is your media presence that you have, right? You go on a lot of TV debates.
Oh yeah.
First of all, tell me why is it that you continue to go to TV debates?
A lot of them have asked me. They tell me, भाई साहब, अब्बास भाई, आप इतने अच्छे स्पीकर हो, इतना जबरदस्त बात करते हो, आप क्यों जाते हो इस गोदी मीडिया पे?
सोशल मीडिया पे
एग्जैक्टली, आप सोशल मीडिया पे डालो. बट रोहित, you'll be shocked. ये इंडिपेंडेंट मीडिया राइट नाउ, ये यूट्यूब जो है ना, इंस्टाग्राम, एक हद तक कर है, बट अभी भी मेन स्ट्रीम मीडिया कोने कोने तक पहुंच रहा है. आई नो विद द एडवेंट ऑफ जियो एंड अ मोबाइल फोन, एवरीबडी हैज एक्सेस टू यूट्यूब, बट इवन नाउ द मेन स्ट्रीम मीडिया इज much bigger than even the independent media that you see. You know, NDTV, India Today, CNN, Times Now, Viacom 18, Aaj Tak a channel as a Hindi media is huge.
Yeah.
25 crore viewership is what they get, and it's massive.
Do you think those numbers are true?
Largely from the media perspective, I've understood they are. Okay. And they have the substantiative proof and evidence for that, which is there. So there is a segment. But now, on Godi Media, I go. Many of them ask me, "Are Republic, you're the only guy Arnab allows you to speak." How is it that? I've clearly told Arnab and his team of Republic and others, if you invite me on your channel, I need to be allowed my good time to speak. And you cannot fade out my voice. Only on these conditions will I accept to come on your channel. If I am in any way my voice is faded out and I'm not allowed my given time, allotted time, I will not come. By the way, my friend Rohit, this took me 1 year to really build and become a brand, because national media debating is such that one mistake and you're out. आपसे 10 बेहतर लोग खड़े हैं आने के लिए. Many of the big political party netas want to send their nephew or their niece or their beta or their mausa, mama, anybody. Call करते हैं, दबाव डालते हैं, लो, but they don't. It's only for those who speak strongly, who speak fearlessly. it's very difficult to make your position on the national media spectrum now because there are 100 other philosophers, authors, intellectuals, speakers who want to be
Especially
there.
because of social media now.
Yeah,
There are a lot more people
exactly
coming
who
up.
want to be there, but then they give you a chance. I am there on my terms and conditions. So the last 5 years, I've built, God willingly, a profile which I've created a demand where the national media takes my time and appointment, or even the anchors, to get me on board. Many a times I do not go until the producer, director of the show, or the anchor himself requests me on WhatsApp to come on the show. I then go, but it takes a lot of time.
Yeah.
And also, my friend, it's not easy.
Understood.
Ask those spokesperson. आपका दिमाग का दही हो जाता है भाई, because you're out there, you need to concentrate.
No, even when I'm watching those videos and I see you guys talk during those TV debates, it's very intensive. You really need to be like
Sharp.
in the moment,
In the moment.
sharp. You need to know your shit, essentially, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
And so again, to be on those debates, what does it take for a person
I'll
like
tell
you to be on?
Yeah,
on
I'll
that
tell
kind
you.
of a debate?
Couple of factors. Your research needs to be strong. You need to know with judgment when your dates need to be right, because the anchor always has the producer on the earpiece.
Correct.
For example, you say India got the independence in 1946. For example, Arnab will look to this guy. Okay. Fact checker said, Arnab, it's not 1946, it's 1947. Then Arnab will come on. Syed Asad Abbas, stop lying on my show. Stop showing this fake propaganda. India got the independence in 1947. ये तो बच्चा बोलेगा. Just an example.
Got it.
So your facts need to be perfectly right. One mistake and you're out. थोड़ा सा आपने इधर-उधर किसी के खिलाफ बोल दिया ना, there will be cases against you, FIR against you, you'll be put behind bars. अब तक मेरे साथ तो नहीं हुआ है, because I've spoken within the rights of the constitution, which is freedom of speech, freedom of expression. थोड़ा इधर-उधर आप गए, there's always a chance for you to land up in jail. National media में speaker या debater या analyst या commentator होने के लिए बहुत दम चाहिए, and especially on the opposition front. Because BJP, I have told many a times, the anchors themselves spoon feed with facts. For example, they gauge, I ask a question to a BJP spokesperson, he doesn't know the answer. The anchor will answer on his behalf. Many a times. Every debate you see, the anchor becomes the Godi media only. The anchor becomes a spokesperson of the ruling dispensation. I would say what has helped me, मेरा बचपन से मैं 4-5 साल का था, I used to love to be on stage, love to debate. I was on extempores, just a minute, jams. So you're from Christ University. I was a regular, debater. I was not in the DEPSOC. I was not in the debating society, but I used to beat even those guys. I'd love to be independent. So many of fronts I've, like Tejasvi Surya was from Frankaya, from Kumaran's, he was the head boy there. So many debates I used to come across. Kumaran's, Bishop Cotton's, there was a Cottonian Shield in debates. There was Frank Anthony Memorial, All India level inter-school ICSE debate where I've been a part of. So many. So my background in debating really helped me to be an orator, a speaker. And I've been an anchor all my life. For the last almost 2 decades, I've been a master of ceremonies. Professionally, I'm an anchor, I'm a host. I've hosted the IPL, RCB, thousands of corporate events.
I think that is very visible by the way you talk, that you have a really good stage presence and a very good media presence.
Thank you.
But
Thank you, my friend. Yeah.
Moving on from that, I want to ask you about Arnab Goswami. Obviously, people want to know about him, and people
everybody
care a lot.
asks me
Everybody
that
asks,
question,
I'm
and
sure.
still they want to ask me. I'll tell you about him.
And the thing is, his presence that comes out on TV is as a very strong, a strong speaker who shouts at people and who's going to suppress your voice essentially, right? And now obviously calling him as part of the Godi media, that's also another thing.
Yeah.
But I've heard a lot of different stories from his personal.
I will tell you a lot of things about him. So, okay. I met Modi ji and Arnab the same day.
Oh, wow. Okay.
So this was the Republic Summit which happened in Mumbai.
When
Very
was this?
rarely, 2018 end.
Okay.
December, I suppose. November, December 2018. So it was the first Republic Summit which happened at Trident, Mumbai. Mostly all the summits happen in Taj Palace, Delhi. Okay. You see, courtesy, hospitality partner, Taj Palace, New Delhi. So Arnab, thanks to his might and his power, he held a summit in Mumbai, Trident, Mumbai, 2018 November, where Modi ji was there. Modi ji was just like probably your cameraman away, and I was there, and Arnab was there. First I met Arnab. Arnab looked at me. Arnab thought that, normally in TV debates, it's only your face which is seen. He thought I'm quite a petite kind of guy, he thought. But he's like, Abbas, you're so big. And I said, Arnab, you're so slim. You're so skinny, man.
I thought you were going to say, Arnab, you're so small.
No, he's, Arnab, what you see, he's actually quite skinny,
Yeah.
He's quite a slim guy. He's a fit guy. He avoids his sugars and all of that. Avoids junk. He's quite good with his eating habits. Back in times now, he was quite a plumpy guy.
Thoda, haan.
Thoda to tha uska. Abhi he's quite fit guy. Okay. So, of course, he is a very polite guy. You need to come a little close when he even speaks. He's a nice guy. He's hospitable. Camera is on and he goes. He becomes a monster. And all of them agree with me on that.
Correct.
He goes pretty haywire. And I've told him that. I asked him why. He gave me a very smart answer. He said, Abbas, I save my energy.
Yeah, makes sense.
To really drive out my point and all of that. But I'll tell you, undoubtedly he's leader of the pack in this media front. All of them, mind you, all of them have called out many anchors. Don't try to be a cheap copy of Arnab.
Correct.
Arnab is Arnab. That's his personality. You don't try to be.
I think everyone tries to emulate him.
Yeah, they're trying to copy him, emulate him. But fake hota hai, real hota hai. I tell them. Okay? There's no use. You're in your individual. Carve your own niche. Okay? So that's the thing about Arnab. I'll tell you about me and Arnab. And probably even why Arnab even is okay with me. Because if Arnab shouts at me, I will shout back at him. Many a time, some people might go a little softer. I don't. I actually created my large fan following by taking on Arnab. I used to take him on. Purely, अरे यार ये अर्नब पे ही हमारे उर्दू शिवाजी नगर के इंसान क्या भाई इन्हें अर्नब कुछ रोप डालता ना क्या भाई अर्नब पोच आवाज डालती ना शायद तुम्हें अर्नब कुछ नहीं छोड़ते ना तुम्हें
Wow.
That's what I built. I always David Goliath. If David thought Goliath is huge and I can't beat him, you can't. You need to believe in yourself. I learned this from Arnab. I asked him a question. I asked him, Arnab, I've seen you since the times of times now. You ask such questions to these corrupt netas and you go ballistic on them, fire them, you blast them on your debates and shows. Don't you feel scared? He told me one thing. He told Abbas, the day you become scared, the day you think that the opposition person is bigger than you, you're gone. You won't be able to succeed. You won't be able to ace. Always remember, never give respect. If there's Prime Minister, give him the respect. Give any person, be it the Prime Minister or a peon, the same respect. But always remember, if you think somebody is better than you, bigger than you, you'll never be able to beat them. So if you want to, put your word in front, believe in yourself and go for it. So this is something which I have adapted into me. I could have Chief Minister Shri Siddaramaiah ji or Yediyurappa ji or Kumaranna ji. I will respect them for the constitutional position or the experience in politics. But I will not budge down. Even with Arnab, if he's called me, say, a stooge of the Congress party or the Aam Aadmi Party, I've also told him, you're Godi media, Arnab. Play that video also. Arnab, you're the leader of the Godi media.
Correct.
Godi media, what they ask me? Thanks to Ravish Kumar. He gave the term.
Correct.
Modi ki Godi mein baithe hua Godi media. So yeah, there have been several fantastic episodes where I've gone ballistic on Arnab. That's one thing. If आज की दुनिया में ना रोहित भाई, आपके भी दुनिया में बहुत सारे कंपटीशन होंगे, चैलेंज होंगे. अगर कोई आपको दबा रहे ना, अगर दब जाओगे तो खत्म है. आपकी 200,000 फॉलोइंग है या ऑलमोस्ट जो भी है वहीं पे रह जाएगी. अगर आपको 200,000 से 2 मिलियन होना है, 20 मिलियन होना है, आपको एक करारी जवाब करारा वॉइस बन के रहना होगा. दैट इज द ओनली वे. बाय द वे, आपको मैं मोटिवेशनल स्पीकर भी हूँ, तो आप लोगों को फ्री मोटिवेशनल क्लासेस भी मिल रही है. लकी है. मैं एक्चुअली इवन आई एम एन एक्सीडेंटल मोटिवेशन स्पीकर. I'm not a motivation speaker. I speak, people get motivated.
Correct. I think you just have a very strong voice to be able to speak on stage. I think that's what sort of makes it.
Yeah. By the way, Arnab Goswami also was a debater. He was a bloody good debater in his back in school days. Not just him. J. Sai Deepak, Vikram Sampath, Arnab Goswami. Many of the voices you see on television, many of them in politician too, have all been vaktas and pravaktas. That is, speakers, orators, spokespersons. Almost all of them. Winston Churchill, as much dividing figure or whatever figure he was, one thing एक सच बोल दिया उसने. Oratory is a skill that can turn a commoner into a king.
Correct.
That's Modi ji. It's his oratory which has really led him there. Arvind Kejriwal, huh?
But tell me
also
this,
is a
do you
good
really
orator.
think it's his oratory that led him there, or it's just that their marketing and PR has
Yeah.
been so strong that obviously you need some charisma as a leader,
Yeah.
but then
I'll tell you.
is it really that much?
I'll tell you. Brilliant question, Rohit. Very nice. I'm enjoying. This is one of the few podcasts which I've really enjoyed. I must tell you that. And you're not even paying me for it to say that. कमाओ पैसा बनो बड़ी फंडिंग उठाओ बिलियनर बनो तो थोड़ा सा हमको भी दो. I'm just joking.
Yeah.
May you guys progress, proceed, and do well. Now, coming back to your question. Yes, I agree. He's a good orator, but not he's that good an orator. There has been jumlebazi, undoubtedly. 15 lakh ना आपके अकाउंट में आए ना मेरा अकाउंट में 2 crore jobs every year नहीं आए. नहीं तो recently I asked the political advisor of CM Bamai, former CM Bamai, Mohan Krishna. I asked him. This debate was on jobs.
Okay.
So I asked him, show me the empirical data, show me the statistics figures of the 20 crore jobs. 2 crore per year, 2 into 10, 20 crore.
20 crore.
He had no answer. Oh my God, I'll send you this clip. You should watch. Then you know what Mr. Abbas, he said, you don't know how many startups have been started. My God, I started laughing hysterically. Madhav was the anchor. Times now, 10 p.m.
Okay.
He was laughing. The way he said it. So many startups have been started. I said, sir, we are in Bangalore. We know. We are the startup hub.
Correct.
We know what's happening. The hub.
Correct.
Plug in, huh? Azan se bahut
Azan
khush ho
like
jayega.
it.
I love the hub, by the way. Beautiful place. And we are shooting a podcast
yeah.
at the hub Bengaluru.
At the hub Bengaluru.
Happening, huh? I love the space. Now coming back to this. Modi ji is a brilliant as an orator. I'll tell you why. An orator knows how to relate to the audience. Okay? Modi ji might do a rally in Assam or Karnataka. He will ensure he gets a local about it. He'll say Namaskara. Or he'll say Tamil Tiruvalluvar Tirukkural in Tamil Nadu. Or he'll say something in Assamese. He's got that brilliant relatability factor with the audience. Every orator has that. मैं ना कॉलेजेस को जाता हूँ यूथ की शायरी ऐसे बोलता हूँ लव की एक शायरी हौसले की एक शायरी एंड ऑडियंस इज अंडर अरेस्ट मोदी जी हैज दैट नॉट जस्ट दैट आई टेल यू दिस in Republic Summit when I was there, he got the relatability factor with the Republic audience, with Arnab. You know, like Arnab is known to say, nation wants to know, nation wants to know. He looked at Arnab and he said, Modi wants to know. And people were like, whoa, clapping, applauding. Not just that, India Today does Mood of the Nation.
Correct.
So he went to the India Today conclave recently. Anand Puri is there. Kali Puri is there.
Correct.
And in front of all of them, he said, Ab ki baar, again 400 par came. Aayega to Modi hi. This is all in public
This is
domain.
mood of the nation.
And he said, this is the mood of the nation.
Correct.
अरे with what he did with the beer biceps guy Ranveer Alahabadia, अरे आप तो बीजेपी वाले लोग he knows what is going to work
he's
with the
very good on
audience.
his
A
feet.
good orator is someone who reads the audience. And Modi, you know, I might be a bitter critic of the Modi, jumlebazi and all of that, but to me as a good critic, as a man, as an independent, I must say this is what many other leaders lack. Modi, as an orator, knows what relates to the audience. He's judging on the pulse of the audience is pitch perfect. With many of them, you know, that Malar guy came and he made a, you know, I wouldn't call it body shaming.
Right.
It's not. Many a times the leaders and orators have a little bit of independence in their voice. Not everything is body shaming. It could be a joke in the right sense.
Right.
And हम हमारे संस्कृति में हम आगे वाले को वो सोच और that independence हम दे देते हैं. It's all right. So Modi ji has that. Even in National Creators Award we saw.
Yeah.
In many of his summits I've seen when I have been
Correct.
audience with Modi ji. So yeah.
Nice. Okay. Final part of the whole thing. I want to wrap it up and take a full.
I can't believe it. It's over 1.5 hours.
It's 1.5 hours. Yeah.
Wow. Albert Einstein का आपने सुना है ना?
क्या?
You know, Albert Einstein है कौन सा वैज्ञानिक है? I don't know. You know, if you're doing something interesting, time flies. If you're doing something boring, it seems like ages.
Yeah.
I hope it's been interesting.
It's very interesting because I looked at time after a long time right now and I'm like, wow, it's been more than 1.5 hours since we've been recording.
Yeah.
Very interesting conversation. I'm sure the audience is
I hope we get the likes we are looking at, the views we are looking at. And let me do a quick plug-in of mine. Do follow me, guys.
Of course.
It's MC_Abbas on Instagram. Syed Asad Abbas largely. MC Abbas or Syed Abbas. You can Google it. You'll find my YouTube channel. Not as big as Barely Opinionated. Slowly we are getting there.
No,
You
so
can
what
see
we'll
my
also
debates
do
and
is
all of that.
we'll obviously take out clips. We'll put it on Instagram. We'll collaborate with you. That will
Absolutely,
that'll be
yeah. I
amazing.
did that with a couple of my
Yeah,
other
yeah,
podcasts.
that
We
will be
can do that,
amazing.
and I've given you enough content, my friend.
Yeah, we have
especially
a lot
Insta.
of things. We have a lot of clips for that.
Oh yes, yeah.
Okay, but anyway, coming full circle to
Yeah.
to our first conversation itself, which is
Yes.
about Arvind Kejriwal and AAP in general. If for whatever reason Arvind Kejriwal has to step down, which the Lieutenant Governor has also said. I mean, obviously, Lieutenant Governor, if he takes anything, it goes to the President rule. But then if someone has to sort of take Arvind Kejriwal's position right now, who is
Okay,
AAP
I will
looking
answer
at?
you. Firstly, you know, there was a PIL which was filed, which was rejected by the Delhi High Court yesterday or day before. That, you know, when they filed, like, how can he run his government
From the jail.
and that PIL was rejected. So therefore, for now, as we speak,
cool.
he is able to run the government. Why? Because Arvind Kejriwal is an elected leader from Delhi, a chief minister. I must also tell you, the tag which the people of Delhi, I know, have given him is Delhi ka beta. Even though he's in jail, he's bothered about the water scarcity problem plaguing the state of Delhi. He's giving notifications, directives to the water tanker to regularize the price. Not just that, even Mohalla clinics, he's ensuring that medicines are reached there on time. And mind you, my friend, I'm not an official AAP spokesperson or currently not holding any position in Aam Aadmi Party or Congress Party. But to me, agar Bhajpa ho, AAP ho, jo अच्छा काम हो रहा है, उसके बारे में बताना चाहिए.
Correct.
He's doing that.
Correct.
Now to the question, who will be able to lead? See, I met Atishi. I campaigned for her during 2019 Lok Sabha elections when I was there. I've also met several times Raghav Chadha. They're all similar age.
Raghav Chadha is to not even there.
Raghav Chadha,
he's not been very present right now.
He is. I'll tell you. There are two reasons to it. He's currently going in eye operation.
Okay.
London. He's there.
Okay.
And also the large responsibility of Punjab was given to him in the last Punjab elections. He's played a large role in winning Punjab for Aam Aadmi Party, and even now to run all the Lok Sabha elections. It's under his ability. Arvind Kejriwal ji is divided. Saurabh Bharadwaj is playing his role. Atishi Marlena is playing their role. So this will be decided by the party. In case if push comes to shove, who will be the chief minister? This will be decided by the party. And one thing I tell you,
Who do you see?
Aam Aadmi Party is quite unpredictable. I'll tell you.
Is it?
I could make a guess, you could make a guess, or anybody could make a guess, but it will not be. It will be some leader.
Why do you say Aam Aadmi Party is unpredictable?
It is. Many of the decisions made by them have been so. Because nobody really thought that Raghav Chadha will be given the Rajya Sabha-ship. Because he was an incumbent MLA, Rajendra Nagar MLA. But then he sent him to, Raghav Chadha is of course a Punjabi, he sent him to, seeing the work he did in Punjab, he earned his, to become the youngest Rajya Sabha member of parliament, he earned it. So, something about Arvind Kejriwal, I'll say, like me, I had no political background. It's thanks to Aam Aadmi Party, Arvind Kejriwal ji, Manish Sisodia ji, the able state leadership, Prithvi Reddy ji, Sanchit Sahni, they saw that potential in me. That's the thing about Aam Aadmi Party. Huh? If you're good, they'll give you the chance. That's the thing. Personally, you ask me, I'd love to see Raghav Chadha, my friend, to really take on the reins. But I know.
Will the people of Delhi
Chief
accept
Minister, I would say, why not? Why not? Chief Minister, I'll tell you, in politics and largely with the mind of Arvind Kejriwal, I'll tell you one thing. Chief Minister, Prime Minister, these are mere roles. All world's a stage, we're all actors. Whosoever does the right work in the right place. I think what Arvind Kejriwal thinks Raghav Chadha is best suited for Punjab. It's a larger role to win Lok Sabha than managing the day-to-day of state. To getting Lok Sabha member of parliament elected from Punjab, then running the state, which there are people who can do that. I'd say Atishi is in the race, or maybe a Sandeep Pathak, you never know.
Oh, interesting.
Atishi, Sandeep Pathak, you might never know. Or there is some leader which you may not have heard of, or not a populist leader, but a leader who knows the policies of running the state. You never know with the Aam Aadmi Party. You ask me, I'd love to see my friend Raghav Chadda taking on the reins.
Okay.
I've given you the straight answers, my friend.
Yes. This has been an amazing conversation.
I hope the check is ready. Barely. Just kidding, guys. This is for free. Huh?
Guys, if you want to give checks to him, you can.
मेरा नंबर डाल दो.
Awesome. Thank you so much.
Just joking. Huh?
Yeah.
It's very important. आज की दुनिया में
बोलना पड़ता है. Disclaimer देना पड़ता है.
Disclaimer. ये सब अपनी यारी दोस्ती में है.
It is an unpaid podcast. There is no propaganda.
Nothing. This is clear-cut opinions. I've not been barely here. Fully opinionated.
And I love the fact that you weren't just talking about AAP, but then you gave such
and I've
good
criticized
answers.
also. I've criticized AAP, I've criticized Congress and other parties too. Sandesh Kali, Mamta Banerjee, TMC.
Correct.
I have friends in TMC too, who are MPs and spokesperson. But nevertheless, many more to go, my friend. One thing will be a hit with your audience will be get on more leaders. Let's have a full spectrum of debate. You play the role of Arnab.
Yeah.
Just develop lung capacity. Shout more often.
Lung capacity, shouting capacity.
And become cash rich also like Arnab. He's built an empire with Republic, by the way.
Yeah.
I'd love to see, take on BJP, JDS, Congress, all of them going at each other. Let's have a town hall of sorts. Yeah.
For sure. One day.
Yeah.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Abbas. Thank you so much for doing this. I really, really appreciate it. I hope you guys enjoyed the conversation. Please make sure you follow him because he puts up some amazing content on his page as well. Especially, I love your TV debate conversations that you put up. So please continue doing that.
Yes.
Thank you so much. Don't forget to subscribe. Don't forget to like. Don't forget to share. And
और हमारे लिए दुआ भी कीजिए.
दुआ कीजिए, please.
हम भी कहीं पहुंच जाए सियासत में. क्लिक हो जाए.
Yes. Any last thing you want to say to the audience?
I would say मंजिल से आगे बढ़कर मंजिल तलाश कर मिल जाए तुझको दरिया समंदर तलाश कर. Do not be content in life. Don't be just another one. If you're a content creator, be the best one. Whatever your profession is, be the best one what you do. Do not be a frog in the pond. Come out there. Support Barely Opinionated. I say this because I love your content.
Thank you so much.
It's very important. Not just Barely Opinionated. Follow others too. There
Correct.
are many other people who are doing fantastic job, who are my friends too. Yeah. So therefore, support independent journalism, my friend. They give you the news like it is. You form the opinion. News must be said like it is, not without the bias, without being partisan. And yes, go conquer your dreams, achieve your dreams. And now, since you are going to vote, all of you, please vote for a neta who has no criminal record. That's you could be in a constituency. You would see different netas. You can go to this website, just Google them. You will see their affidavits. It's very important. Every neta files.
There's a website by the ECI.
My neta, yeah. There is myneta.in. There is an ECI website too. See, you will get everything. You will see the assets they hold, the liabilities they hold, criminal records, no records, all of that. And then vote. Vote for a leader, I would say an educated leader. A leader who's done good work. A leader who's honest. A leader who really has the intention. You're millennials, you're Gen Zs. You can read people. So do that. And support the right leaders. Support young leaders.
Most importantly, you have to vote for your local representative.
Please vote. Yeah.
So look at your local representatives and vote. Don't
Modi
just
ji will not come and run, or Rahul Gandhi or Arvind Kejriwal are not going to come to your constituency. It's your MP with the MP-led funds who's going to run your constituency. So party might be there, but also vote for your respective constituency, which is most important.
Perfect.
If that is in mind, but please, don't think that 26th, where Bangalore is going to largely vote, 26th of April is not a holiday. Have your Goa plans, vacation plans another time. Please go out there and vote, my friends, with folded hands. Vote कीजिए. मैं contest नहीं कर रहा हूँ, मुझे नहीं. जो भी नेता है उनको वोट जरूर करना.
बस वोट करो, बस वही चाहिए.
वोट करो and show the finger, yeah. Whichever finger you're going to vote, show the finger that you voted and feel proud that you've practiced your fundamental right.
Let's go. Awesome. Thank you so much and bye-bye.
Thank you. Bye-bye.